2.
Welcome.
LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Would you sleep with sick women?
I may be pregnant, but I'm still a man.
Spank the unruly ones.
It's indecent, it's vulgar, it's blasphemous.
I'm gonna ride you till you can't stand up.
Come on, let's go down.
All right, keep your shirt on.
LoveLine's meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Here's LoveLine with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
I should open a salon where I just put cots in it. Tell the women to take a nap and then go out for a big night on the town. All right, Phil Buckman is our guest tonight. He's from American Werewolf in Paris, which came out about a week ago, and also, well, a little more. Also, this coming new season, 90210?
I was just on. It was on the beginning of the season.
Uh-huh.
Is this working? I can't hear myself.
Are you coming back?
Huh? I don't know. That's up to Aaron. It's up to Mr. I gotcha. It's up to Mr.
You all right,
Stone.
Drew? You got that?
He's helping me out.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. And, all right, so let's start with American Werewolf in Paris, right?
Just fixing your notes.
Oh, I see. You want to talk, because I want to talk about this, too. You want to talk about your band, right?
No. There is no band.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the band?
No, that's old news.
See, when you try to cross something off a list, Drew,
looks like you're underlining.
And you underline both of them, then it really seems like you want to talk about
Well,
it.
I'm from across the table. I couldn't reach it. I'm sorry.
With all right, I don't. All right.
Enough about me.
All right, so American Werewolf in Paris. I've not seen it yet. I saw the original. What was it? 82?
81.
81.
Yeah.
It was a huge success, and I've just seen the previews. The special effects look great, and that's about all I know.
It's pretty cool. You know, it was a fun time over in Europe, and we came out with a Mentos commercial with a dog. You know, it's a pretty good European thing.
Did you you film the whole thing in Paris?
Paris, Luxembourg, Amsterdam. Yeah, that's about it.
Did you do a certain amount of it here?
We didn't do any here.
Really?
Yeah.
Because normally they do a bunch of like establishing exterior shots and stuff like that, and then they build some soundstage hotel room where the bulk of the thing takes place, and they do it out in Burbank.
We had a lot of that, but that was in Luxembourg.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually a European film. It was a German film company that did it. That's distributed through Hollywood Pictures here in these United States.
And did you get killed?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't. I survive. I'm myself and the two main leads, which are Tom Everett Scott and Julie Delpy. We survived the movie.
And so you know, there's a certain I don't know. On one hand, you got to be flattered you didn't get killed. On the other hand, there's a certain distinction to being killed, especially if it's in a movie where you're actually being mauled.
Yeah, but when everybody's being killed, it's a distinction to be the one that doesn't get killed.
Yeah, that's true. Must be a testament to your acting or your agent. It's one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. No, actually, at first I had auditioned for one of the characters that gets killed and keeps coming back. You know, they had the undead in the first movie. I didn't get that part. The next day they wanted to see me for the part I ended up getting, which was the other best friend. And when we were filming the movie, I was so glad I didn't get the other part, because Vince Viloff, who played Brad, spent about 6 hours in the makeup chair every day.
Yeah.
He'd be going to work as I'd be rolling in from the bars at night.
That would be very bad for me. When we do the TV show, I spend about 3 minutes in the makeup chair, and I get very, very uncomfortable, very fidgety. And I can't imagine these guys who are doing the whole prosthetic thing where you're breathing through a straw they put in your nose.
No, he had about...
Can you sleep?
Yeah, well, he did that. Yeah, he had about 4 guys working on him. You know, they put the latex pieces on his face, and then they had to paint everything.
Now, is this movie a sequel or a prequel or just loosely based on, or what is it, and why did it take 15 years?
It's a sequel, and it's It's actually not explained in the final edit of the movie. The scene was cut out that explained how it's a sequel, which isn't really too good when you have a sequel.
Right.
But Julie Delpy plays the daughter of the werewolf from the first movie, and the nurse.
I already hear they're working on a third one, which is a American Werewolf in Burbank, and there's no real action or killing. He just gets a whole bunch of chicken-ass jaywalking tickets, and one for doing a rolling right at a red light.
Something happened to you today?
No, I'm just thinking about those a-holes in Burbank every time I drive through there. I hate those police. All right, so Phil, you going to help us out on these phone calls?
Sure. Absolutely.
You're not wearing a Dukes of Hazzard t-shirt, are you?
As a matter of fact, I am wearing a Dukes of Hazzard t-shirt.
I love that show. I don't think a show could be made with a Confederate flag waving through half of it these days. Do you, Drew? Do you think that'd be politically correct? Do you think in today's political climate they could have something like that where huge
equally as
rebel flag
inappropriate
was...
then. They just did it.
A little respect here. Uncle Jesse just died last week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Denver Pyle just passed away.
He must have been like 130.
32.
And what?
32.
Natural causes, or the still blew up, or what happened?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I get my information from the news.
I love this show. Drew, do you watch it?
Never.
You watch on the TNT or the
TNN.
country TNN, right?
Yeah. The Nashville Network.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great show. They love their racist shows. It's great. It's got a car. It's got white guys. It's got the Confederate flag. That's all they need.
What's her
and
name,
it's got
Barbara?
Daisy. Barbara Bach?
Yeah, no, Daisy. What's her
Catherine
name?
Bach.
Catherine Bach.
She's been on this show a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah, she's hot right now, Drew. Yeah, we'll get into
But wouldn't I thought that would turn you on.
No, she's
it's
80.
It's like having Adrienne Barbeau here.
Adrienne Barbeau had those huge jugs, and that's the only reason why I like to have her
That was
back.
one of my first memories to come when I came to California to visit. I'm from the East Coast. We got a tour of the Burbank studios in Burbank, 'cause that's where they put it. And I got to go on the Dukes of Hazzard set, and Catherine Bach gave me a strawberry. Just handed me an
handed you a strawberry.
Handed me a strawberry. I was all of 8.
Where were you from?
I think at that point I was living in Boston. I'm from New York.
And how long you been out here?
Been out here for about 14 years, 15 years.
So wait, how old are you?
I'm 28.
So you came out, you didn't come out alone then?
No, came out with the family.
And
visiting my aunt and uncle.
Then
when I moved out here?
Got the acting bug when you were out here?
Yeah, I had to take an English elective in high school, so I took drama. Figured I was a smartass, might as well get graded for it.
Did you go to high school out here?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I went to Taft in the Valley.
Oh.
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I went to North Hollywood.
Oh.
We're almost rivals.
I'm sorry.
All right. We're both losers then.
Absolutely.
Eric.
Go right ahead.
You're 28. What's going on?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
I just have a question. It's for both of you, I guess, and maybe the medical part is for Dr. Drew, if there really is a medical part. I'm 28 years old, and I guess I'm gay, although I don't really want to admit it. I mean, I've been with guys before, and...
How's the behymen? Is it still intact?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
All right.
I really don't...
Adam has a sort of
I can't figure it out.
Oh, you're just trying
Well, it's just it seems
just
like three-quarters of the gay men we speak to have never engaged in anal sex.
You're just surveying just to see how common that practice is, or does that make them more gay for you?
Well, put it this way. When a guy said he was gay in the past, before I did this show, I just assumed that this was on the menu sexually.
Because you are ignorant doesn't mean that that's what they're actually doing.
Well, why be gay if you're not going to do that?
Because they need to be intimate. They need to be. They choose to be intimate with men.
I thought it just was the gay form equivalent to intercourse.
All right.
Is that intercourse, by the way? If you're a guy and a guy and you do that?
Yeah.
It is?
I guess.
Okay.
Well, I think a lot of it's more emotional, too.
Right, of course.
I think that's pretty disgusting, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's right.
Maybe one of these days I would, but...
Which part? Which would you do?
What do you mean?
I mean, if one of these days...
Receiving or...
Probably... I don't know.
Would you be the FTD man or the guy who answers the door?
Probably not the guy that answers the door.
Okay, so you'd be delivering.
The delivery guy.
I see.
Exactly.
Okay, so
All
I
right,
just
Eric,
honked my horn out front.
What's your question, Eric? Come on.
I guess my question isn't really a specific question. It's just, I feel like I'm just an average guy. and this is just something that I was born with. And I want to know what your views are. You know, it seems like so many of the people that call have this like flamboyant gay attitude that you could tell they're gay right away, and they want.
Yeah, but that's not it's not a terribly common persona.
Right,
homosexual.
Well, there's no way of tallying up all the ones you're not aware of.
Right.
It's sort of a catch-22. I mean, you're only aware of the flamboyant gays because those are the ones that tip their hand.
Right, but I think they're the ones that give everyone a bad name. That's actually just a regular guy that dealing or woman dealing with homosexuality.
Right.
But I guess my question is, I don't feel I'm much different than the average guy. I know there's theories about homosexuality, but how common do you think it really is? I mean, do you think there's some degree of homosexuality in everybody? I mean,
yes, I think that's been pretty well established. But to have it be a consistent choice and a mature orientation is something different, isn't it? I mean, the people who study anthropology and who study, human systems and behavior find that the same-sex sorts of orientations are exceedingly common. But to have that as a consistent orientation is something somewhat unique.
Well, I liken it to the homicidal tendency that lurks within most men, which is everyone thinks about killing. Everyone has some neighbor they wish would disappear, or some some girlfriend's old boyfriend, or something like that, but only a small percentage actually acts on it.
Yeah, and
wouldn't that be a good analogy there, Drew?
Yeah, it's a little pejorative. If you want to, maybe you ought to fly your Confederate flag while you're making that analogy. But
I don't mean to liken the homosexuals to the serial killers.
I understand.
But I'm saying it is. I think there's an element in everybody that has that.
That's
and
right.
Some people act on it, and for some people, it's a larger part of their personality.
And that is sort of a developmental. At least that adds fuel to a developmental theory that all of us have certain things in us that we develop through and we learn how to manage and internalize in order to be functioning members of society. And a part of that process is developing and changing the way we relate to our parents and think about ourselves. And some theories are that homosexuality grows out of that. The changes in that evolution when people have a certain biological predisposition. There's a great book for you. I think the kinds of thing you're interested in, you'd find fascinating.
It's called Cult Roundup?
No, it's called Female Perversions. And it's about why people develop fixed sorts of orientations in their sexuality. And your question about the flamboyant male is sort of addressed there. And in fact, she even addresses the flamboyant female, the Marilyn Monroe types, why some women are female impersonators.
Why? Oh, you mean not by profession, but just by the way they
present
dress
themselves,
and go out there.
Yeah, that they prefer to be that. It's a way of managing certain kinds of feelings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what percentage of males are gay, would you say, Drew?
That's under 10%, I would say.
Yes. Phil?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. But
No.
you're not gay yourself.
No, I'm not.
No, see, I got that from you.
Wow.
Actually, Phil reminds me of Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
You ever get that?
We're both Jewish. I think that's about as far as it goes.
You're from New York.
I'm from New York.
There's some physical characteristics that you share.
Well, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Thanks.
that's not a put down. And he's certainly a talented guy and a nice guy. And I would even call him a friend.
Mm.
All right, shut up, Drew. Can I call anyone who's in the business a friend without you grunting? Danielle, Danielle.
Danielle, yes.
You're
Hi,
18.
Adam.
Hey.
Yeah, I had a question for Dr. Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 18 years old, and I have been interested in older men, and I was wondering if it was genetic or was it because of my environment surroundings. My sister married a man that is 16 years older than her. My mom is married to a man, my stepdad, who's 10 years older than her. My grandparents, they're like 12 years apart. And I found myself interested in older men. And I don't look
older?
18.
How much older are you talking about?
Huh?
How much older are you talking about?
I was talking to a 30-year-old man at one time, but he didn't know that I was 18. I passed as 21 years old.
She's got that voice a little bit.
Yeah.
I always get nervous when I hear that little girl voice.
Yeah. And what we would say is that if you are attracted to substantially older men, the kind of men you usually are pursuing are guys that are kind of unavailable or sort of abusive, which suggests to us that somewhere along the way, it wasn't so much that there was a model there of the older man being your father figure, but that somebody older or somebody kind of abused you along the way.
This is a great disservice women do to themselves, by the way, because I know my grandmother, who's recently widowed, and she has 10 couples who she was friends with. All the guys are now dead.
Yeah.
It is really, when you find women that are, especially in their late 70s, early 80s, there's 30 old women sitting around together pining for their dead husbands, because the husbands always kick off 8-10 years earlier than the wives, even if they're the same age. Now you add 10-15 years old. The guy died in World War II, and you've basically been a old widow for the last 40 years of your life.
Yeah, but then you got a few 70-year-old men, they're going to get real lucky.
That's true. That's when I think I'm going to hit my prime sexually, by the way.
You ever been to a nursing home?
Have I?
I mean, not a lot of men there.
No, there isn't?
Your grandfather was a rare exception.
Oh, because he wasn't in a nursing home, though.
Yeah, but he lived to 94 or something, right? Was he?
No, he lived to, Jesus. Well, he's been dead 6 months. Come on, Drew. What do you expect me to remember? 93, something like that. Yeah, you're way off with that 94, Drew. Oh, you're coming from outer space tonight.
You go to a nursing home, and it's about 95% women.
Right. So women should be marrying guys that are about 10 years younger than they are, but no 33-year-old guy is going to marry a 45-year-old woman.
Well, anyway, Danielle, what happened?
You got to start getting guys to live longer.
Where was your biological father?
My mom and my father divorced when I was about 3 years old, and I had a stepdad step in when I was about 6, and he's been with us ever since.
What was he like?
He's a very quiet, simple man. He's a millwright, so he construction work. So he's working 12 to 14-hour days. Sometimes when he has to go away on jobs, he's
a millwright.
What does that mean?
It's a very predominant family that was established in the East Coast just around the turn of the century. The millwrights. You don't know them?
I didn't know them.
No. What is a millwright?
He builds machinery. He knows how to shape and mold metal.
Oh, I like this guy.
He builds machinery.
Yeah.
And so he's a general foreman over his crew, so he's gone a lot. And but him and I have a good relationship.
What about this genetics thing?
Well, I mean, it seems like every woman in my family is...
Well, kids tend to model their parents' behavior, okay? That's not necessarily genetic. That's just modeling. And there may be some of that. And a 20-year-old dating a 30-year-old is not totally out of this world. I mean, that's not so unusual.
No.
And for her, that was her outside behavior. That was the limits of her behavior.
Right.
Most of the guys were 6, 7, 8 years old, and some people are that way, and it makes sense that there's a precedent there, and there's sort of something modeled that behavior after. So, I don't know.
Phil, would you date an older woman?
I have.
You have?
Dated older women, yeah.
It's all right. It's cool to date an older woman when you're 21 and she's 27.
Yeah.
But by the time you turn 27, then you got to slow down on the dating of the older women. Unless it's that namesake thing.
Well, yeah. When I did that, when I went through that little that phase, I was 22 and I dated a woman who was 41.
Ooh, well, you weren't kidding around.
No, I had an agenda.
Wow.
I had to get right to the point. But now I'm 28. My girlfriend's 24.
And was the 41-year-old just wild sexually?
She was nice.
Yeah,
and
she had to make it up.
My girlfriend's in the other room.
I see. All right, but let me just. We won't delve. We won't get into the particulars here. But I bet the 41-year-old had been married for a little while, and then divorced.
Next caller.
Yes, I know how these things work, Drew. You know my theory about this. I always go right for the young buck.
He may be telling you that she's still married.
Oh, very interesting.
On line 4,
Wow. Well, she must have been some looker, but still, the age...
Ever since she gave him that strawberry.
Oh, that was Daisy, yes. All right.
Still wearing the shirt.
Sean.
Yep.
You're 25.
Yes, how you doing?
Good.
All right. This is my problem. I've just become recently intimate with my girlfriend, and we've been having intercourse, and everything is going great, and while during the intercourse, and then, like, if we stop for a second to, like, switch positions or whatnot, when I'm wearing a condom, I tend to lose my erection.
Mm-hmm. Move faster.
Right, and I was wondering if that's like a...
That's a common thing.
Is it?
Yeah. You just got to learn how to work with it because you're not going to wear the condom.
It's like when you're blowing up one of those long gag balloons that some guy ties into the shape of a poodle, and you take a breath, you're going... Then you go... And then all the air, like, slips out the back, and it goes down a little bit. You got to get right back on it, John.
Or learn how to grip the balloon so the air doesn't go out.
Or breathe through your ears like I do.
Okay.
No, so, John, that is a problem. I don't think you should be switching around too many positions when you have the condom on. Should you, Drew?
It's up to them.
Yeah, but I mean...
maybe that's your specific advice.
Pulling the condom, in and out, the thing's rolling off.
That's right. Drying out, slipping off, yeah. So, I mean, I think that's probably your advice then, is that maybe they ought to just stay with...
Why don't you start with your best position first and just finish that way?
Alrighty.
Oh, poor John. He's a broken man.
John.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
How long have you been going out with her?
About 2 months.
Uh-huh. And are you guys...
You guys will work that out.
Hold on now, Drew. Are you guys looking into some other forms of birth control?
We haven't as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of a problem because, I mean, she's getting kind of discouraged because she thinks that, it has to do with her, that I'm losing my erection, but no, it's not.
You're with Michelle Pfeiffer. I think you'd keep it going, though. I mean, let's be honest, right?
No.
I don't know, because she's pretty beautiful, I mean, in my opinion.
Are you nervous or anxious?
I don't think... I'm not nervous.
But
maybe it's just like a mental thing.
You sound pretty intense.
But once you establish that this is what goes on with the penis, then it's going to happen the second and third time around. Is it not, Drew? And that's the way it works.
Well, he said he just started becoming intimate.
Right.
Right?
I didn't just start becoming intimate.
No, with her. With your girlfriend.
With her, yes.
Well, how...
So you still basically, you got rookie-itis.
Yeah, right. It's still pretty awkward and anxious and anxiety-provoking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, give it some time. Talk about it with her and let her know. Reassure her.
Well, how many times have you had sex with her, John?
Probably 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm. And you've tried the pull out and switch positions technique each time?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a bad idea. See, after it didn't work the first time, you know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think here's what you need to do, John. Stick with one position and work that out. Mm-hmm. And do that a few times. And then as you start getting into your comfort zone, you can start experimenting with moving around. But don't move too quickly. All right. Just in case things don't work out, you want to make sure that she sort of
back in.
had her plate's full before you push along past the salad bar there. All right, and John.
Yeah.
See, look into some other forms of birth control.
Right.
Maybe she wants to get on the pill or something like that.
And do either of you have any risk factors for sexually transmitted diseases?
No, we've both been tested.
All right. So, yeah, I agree with Adam.
All right, John?
All righty.
And John, try to enjoy life.
Thanks, Doctor.
Eat out more often, okay?
All righty.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Oh, poor John. You know, you can always tell
uptight, yeah.
You always tell the tone of a guy whose penis isn't working. They're real uptight, and they have that.
Which came first?
I don't care if I live or if I die, kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's not working.
You'd be a much happier guy once it starts working, right?
Oh yeah, he'd probably sound like Rip Taylor if we talked to him 2 days from now and everything was working fine. All right, Phil Buckman is here, legendary first baseman for the Boston Red Sox. No,
not to be confused with Phil Blackman.
Right.
Announced on the radio station.
The mother station, K-Rock, here, been plugging all day. I get the feeling there's a Marks-a-Lot board. We're not in that studio. We're not in the K-Rock studio. We're over here at Westwood 2. But they have a big white Marks-a-Lot board, and they write on it who's going to be on LoveLine, and sometimes the jocks go ahead and plug it periodically throughout the day, and someone must have been leaning on it with a ski beanie or something and screwed it up. I apologize for that.
That's quite all right.
I'm going to kick a little ass when I go in there tomorrow.
It's all right. Blackman's a good guy.
All right, American Werewolf in Paris is the movie. Phil Buckman, don't call me Blackman, is here, and we'll be back.
I'm starting to itch.
LoveLine will be right back. Dr. Drew will say something brilliant, but no one will hear him because Adam will be making funny noises. WEBN.
Oh, yeah, right there.
It's LoveLine on WEBN.
Hi, this is Andy Dick from News Radio, and you're listening to LoveLine with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
All righty then. That's right. Damn right it's LoveLine. Drew, you really look... Something's, what do you have, like a J. Crew modeling shoot before you came out here tonight?
This is Ann's Christmas present to me.
Oh, you just pulled that over?
Yeah.
See, isn't that weird how the mind works and the perception works? I showed up late tonight and just got here just before the show started. Drew's wearing a very nice sweater over his white collared shirt, and something's been bugging me about his appearance the entire evening. I started off with his hair earlier, and now I went into some sort of a modeling catalog joke. I never do that.
Yeah.
The sweater looks great on you.
It's an awesome sweater.
Is that a structure?
Yeah.
I have it in my car.
Ann? Where is she? Oh, she went to get...
I have the sweater in my car.
It's an awesome
I'm returning it because I also have one in my closet.
So Ann
nice
is at a big gift,
Wow.
let me tell you.
Yeah, but isn't that weird that, and it looks fine on you, and it looks like it belongs on you, but something in my mind wouldn't accept it.
At the beginning, just before we went on the air, I was looking at you talking, you're looking into your eyes talking to you when something's wrong.
Well, I kept, you say that every show.
No, it's that damn shirt you're wearing.
Oh, I'm wearing my Colombian drug lord shirt I picked up in, where the hell was I? Guadalajara?
Colombia?
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
No, I was in Mexico last week, and I got myself one of those shirts that, it's a shirt that Rourke from Fantasy Island would wear, but not when he was greeting people on the dock, when he was hanging out in the villa.
When he was visiting.
Yeah, like when he was on his own time.
So,
or
Adam, how was your fantasy?
I wanted to be a radio show host that got ratings, but it didn't work out.
That was your Fantasy Island?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so Phil Buckman is here from American Werewolf in Paris. It came out 2 weeks, 12 days.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Can't even do the math anymore. It's got, who the hell else?
Tom Everett Scott, Julie Delpy, Julie Bowen, Vince
Isn't it
Vilov.
Delphi, or is
It's
it?
Delpy, D-E-L-P-Y.
Right, and lots of special effects, a lot of people getting eaten.
Exactly.
And
lots of blood, lots of comedy.
Good soundtrack.
Yeah, decent soundtrack.
And I'm guessing, like the first one, and actually the first one was one of the first real sort of horror comedies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean...
like Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of thing.
Right, where there was some gore, and there were some scares, and there were some special effects, but there was also a comedic through line.
First time I saw American Werewolf in London, I was 11 when it came out, and it scared. I had nightmares for months. Then I saw it again when I was 18. It was one of the funniest movies I'd ever seen. So yeah, the whole dichotomy.
Yeah,
is that a word? That's a word.
Right.
I'm going to use that word. It's a dichotomy.
Yeah, someone's being eaten by a bear, and
you're laughing.
And you're laughing your ass off.
Yeah.
All right, back to the phones we go. Lee.
How you doing?
You're 32. What's happening?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd just like to say real quickly that I'm going to go check out that movie because I love the first one.
Thanks. I need the money.
All right. Anyways, about probably 2 years ago, I was told that I was HIV positive. And situation being is that I'm a heterosexual male. I was married for about 5 years, and marriage went sour, and I wound up hanging out with the wrong people, doing the wrong things, and I got it through intravenous drug use. And now I'm having a heck of a time trying to find a woman who's kind of up to, at least up to my level. I mean, I'm healthy. I love life. I work out all the time. I do good by myself, and, I'm a good-looking guy, and it just seems like I don't know where to turn or what to do.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
Don't they have some sort of HIV dating thing?
I don't know that. You remember we had a couple of AIDS and chemical dependency counselors up here.
Yeah.
About a year ago. And when the woman was HIV positive, and she was recently got married to a HIV negative male, not non-recovering person, as I remember. I mean, the point is that, and she's delightfully happy. I mean, it can happen.
Yeah, he's miserable, but she's delighted.
I mean, it's a handicap. There's no doubt that there's something that you have to manage and deal with. But in my experience, it's not something that
please, Drew.
What?
Come on, Pollyanna.
No,
you can't be going around with that's you got a zit on your forehead. Half the chicks in this town will leave you at the bar. Come on,
it's difficult.
If someone finds out you're HIV positive, that can be a deal breaker, especially if you're Lee, who's good looking, healthy, and so on and so forth, and wants to just go out with some 27-year-old buxom hottie.
That's just it. I don't even want to. I'm just to that point where I don't even want to do that, because I don't want to get myself into that position where I have to tell her, and have me like fall for her, and then her say, give me the
can't deal with
it. Get away from me. I just can't deal with that.
Yeah, and when certainly it's something you got to mention pretty close to the front of the relationship, wouldn't you say?
Yep, I would.
Have you thought of HIV support groups?
Yeah, in fact, I went to, I've gone to some of the meetings and met some of the women there, but they're really homely, and a lot of them are. I'm not trying to say, what I'm trying to say is I'm not just going to do anybody, you know what I mean? I mean, I want to find somebody that, I can have a relationship with type thing, and I just was wondering if you knew of any other...
Well, listen, I'm not going to mention any names, but I know a woman who was quite lovely, quite attractive, who was HIV negative, or meaning had nothing in that way, who dated a guy who was HIV positive for many years, was aware of it, and they used condoms, and that was that. Her parents did cartwheels, I'm sure, but they're out there.
Yeah, didn't I just say this?
Yeah.
You know what I like to do is I like to yell at you for your opinions, and then I like to
use my
echo
opinion.
your exact same opinion and make it like it was my idea.
Yes.
But this is few and far between. Let's be realistic.
No, it's difficult. It's really difficult, but it's not unsurmountable.
Yeah, I kind of have taken the attitude like, whatever will be, and when it's time, it's time. But I was just, wondering if you guys knew of any other avenue.
What do you think if he hooked up with someone who had herpes?
Are you...
I mean, it would be like a little bit of a balance.
Are you in recovery now?
Oh, yeah, I am.
And is your health good? And is everything good?
My health is fantastic.
How long have you been in recovery?
I was diagnosed 2 years ago.
No. For addiction.
Well, I never really had an addiction. I mean, it was a situation where I just got wrapped up with the wrong group of people and started in doing stuff that I never did before.
So you just experimented. You were just experimenting. You weren't doing it regularly.
Exactly.
I think there should be a dating service for people who are HIV positive. I mean,
I actually think there is.
I think there is too.
Like that.
Here in LA, you look in the back of the LA Weekly. They've got the.
Listen, you could be a transsexual Eskimo who is HIV positive, and if you look in the back of the Weekly, you're going to find wanted transsexual single transsexual Eskimo.
That was just an example, though.
No, but it is.
It's out there. It's just you have to do the research.
All right, so Lee should get more involved with these groups.
We would also tell him the same advice we would give anybody who's looking for a quality relationship, which is focus on your life, get productive, do things that are important to you, and you'll meet people, develop relationship with people who share similar interests, and really focus on developing relationships with humans, not dating or...
You probably could date Liz Taylor. Okay, Drew. Drew doesn't like any of that inside Hollywood politically incorrect stuff, but I really think she should set an example and actually date someone who's HIV. It's time to put her crotch where her mouth is. All right, now that I've submitted my invitation to hell, Phil and I got some talking to do about sketch comedy and the like, so we're going to go to break.
Okay.
And we'll be... Drew, you want to sell something before we go to... No. Okay, that's good radio, by the way. We'll be back.
What's the music about?
What? Oh, the music?
LoveLine will be right back. WEBN.
Hey, this is John Stewart. You're listening to Love Lines, and the answer to your question is ointment.
Hey, it's Phil Buckman's long-lost brother, John Stewart. American Werewolf in Paris is the name of the movie. Phil is the name of the star, and it is in all theaters right now. Please go out and see that.
Before they're not in all theaters.
Right.
Soon.
Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Producer Ann, I hate to break up the conversation there. I want to thank Producer Ann on the air for getting me 3 spectacular gifts for Christmas. A beautifully framed picture of myself and my hero, John Hyatt, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago. And for those of you who heard the show, you would know how much this picture means to me.
And don't these two look like two long-lost brothers that just met at the airport and were so proud of themselves for having gotten together?
Photo.
That's what they look like.
Doug looked at it and goes, I've never seen Adam so happy in all of my life.
Well, there I was.
Probably never will see it again, actually.
Yeah.
My arm around my hero.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier. A book on pies, and those of you who listen to the show even casually know my feelings about pie, and a book on Woody Allen, and a man who I greatly admire. Not only for his antics off the field, but I hear he makes good movies, too. I've not gone out and seen any of them yet, but I certainly intend to rent that one, Sleepers. Is that the new one? No. All right. Where the hell were we? Oh, I wanted to ask Ann. Ann, are you? Have you talked to Katie? Don't call me Katie when my name is
the HHN,
Carrie.
HHF.
Yeah, the
HFF.
Explain that acronym, Drew.
Those
initials.
This is Adam's Head Farting Foundation or something. Head farting.
Yeah, and I'm going to be soliciting those to give generously too. Have you spoken
to her? We left
a
message at our house. She did not return our call though. So if she's listening, call us.
Well, how long's it been?
Oh, just since yesterday.
She should be getting back though, right?
Oh yeah, she's very excited about this.
Okay. All right. So we'll book her, and I will fart on her head for $500 as promised.
Phil's looking at you like, what in the hell is going on?
I'm tired of explaining the story, but I will fart on someone's head for $500.
Not me.
I know the career's going well, but I'm just saying when things slow down.
When I need to pay the rent.
And I know it's a tough gig. You're on top of the world now with this Werewolf in Paris.
God bless you.
But let's see. Where were we, Drew?
Go.
Yeah. Steve.
Yes.
You're 21.
I am.
What's going on?
I love your show.
Thank you.
Listen every night.
Thanks.
Well, I went through a phase more when I was 18 and 19 of doing hallucinogens, particularly LSD, almost every weekend. And after I did all the drugs, a couple months later, I went through a time period where I thought I was really close to God. I was hallucinating. Well, not hallucinating, but I was having prophetic feelings, and I'd go out in spurts of prophetic speeches. And the same thing happened to my friend, too, who was doing LSD at the time as well.
That is called a psychosis. That's what psychotic people do.
Wait a minute. What about the shaman and all that kind of stuff that got high on peyote and whatnot?
They have delusional feelings, and they're often hyper-religious. And they see things, and it's part of a particular organic syndrome like LSD can induce. It is when you hear somebody say that somebody went crazy, that's what they're talking about, a psychotic episode.
Well, this was after I did it, though. It wasn't during the trip.
That's right. It can happen later, and it can be permanent sometimes.
Well, you just have to become an evangelist, right?
I understand. It's often transient. There are multiple different syndromes that the organic injury from LSD can induce. One is a locked-in syndrome where people feel like they're kind of in a dream state, and then they get anxious, have panic attacks, and get depressed.
Yeah.
One is just depression that comes on years later, and another has to do with psychotic symptoms that either develop while you're under the influence and continue forward, or develop later. And they can either remit or they can be permanent.
Because I was going to ask, is this something that could happen to a lot of people? Because it happened to me and my friend.
Yeah. Oh, it's very.
Wait, how much LSD did you do?
You did a lot.
I did a lot.
And you know, I don't understand the surprise. We know what LSD. We know the injury LSD induced. I deal with it every day.
My friend ended up killing himself over it.
Well,
I didn't. I'm sorry.
That's the drug. That's LSD.
We're sorry to hear about your friend, but what kind of shape was he in before? I mean, was he the kind of guy may have been prone to suicide before?
Yeah, he was pretty much suicide. I found out after he died that he came to all sorts of people telling him that he was thinking about it. He just didn't consult me on it.
Well, but again, there are profound mood disturbances induced by this drug.
All right, so what should Steve do?
Sounds like he's fine right now. It's past for him, thank God. I think what he needs to watch out for is that he is going to be prone to depression. If he starts having sleep disturbances, have difficulty finding meaning and enjoyment in life, it is a organic, biological effect of LSD, and it's important to get on medication because all the talk in the world will not reverse the injury that LSD causes to the brain.
What's an MRI run these days?
I don't know. Over $1,000.
Over how much?
About $1,200.
What about for your hand?
About $1,200.
Are you asking me?
It's the time. It's not the body part. It's the time in the tunnel.
It's a multi-million-dollar machine.
I gotta put my hand. I'm getting an MRI of my hand.
Why? You saw the guy.
Yeah, I saw your hand guy.
Yeah, good. And
by the way, the thing that's funny, I saw a hand specialist today because here, Phil, you want to rub the lucky lump there in the palm?
I can see it. And
he wants to know if it's contiguous with the joint or what.
I'm good with seeing it from here.
What does he want to know?
First off, he labeled you a quack. Right. No, he said you had quite a reputation in the community. I said, yes, it Drew's quite a ladies' man. But, no.
But you were carefully examining and questioning him about me, huh?
Yeah. I was doing a lot of poking and prodding, figuring out what. First off, the guy had really chapped hands, which I found to be very ironic for a guy who's a hand surgeon.
Maybe he's allergic to
I kept staring at his hands while he was messing with my hands, and I thought to myself,
he's not a dermatologist, he's a hand surgeon.
Yeah, but how about some goddamn Lubriderm, for Christ's sake? You're touching hands all day long. You set an example for your patients.
I've had 3 knee surgeries. My first one, as I'm in the hospital, the doctor dropped his pen. And really to make me feel too good going under the knife.
Really?
So what did he say?
Yeah, that's not
why did you tell me
promising.
about this before we went on the air?
I only talked to you for 2 minutes before we went on the air, and it just struck me as this guy was talking about this thing. I got to go in Wednesday for an MRI.
At the Huntington?
Of my hand, yeah. Okay. Why, you going to be around?
Probably.
Well, we'll do lunch. Yeah. That'd be great.
How about that?
Yeah, like we don't get enough of each other. You tell me what side of the hospital you're in so I can go to the other side.
I'm going to go look at this film, that's all.
All right, the point is he was pushing around the lump. I told him how I got the lump. And it's always funny. By the way, we're talking about a big lump I have on the palm of my left hand, and I am left-handed, and it's from years of boxing training, not punching people, but holding these focus gloves, these pads, and having guys punch the pads. And after years of having my palms essentially hit, it went ahead and, I have some sort of cyst or some sort of pocket, and it's like a little walnut under at the palm of my left hand. But there's something funny, or at least maybe it's just me, whenever I'm talking about the hand, everything to me is about masturbation, So it's always comical. So he's like, you use the hand a lot? And I'm like, yeah, you sure do. And he's going, is that your good hand? Yeah, it is. Ooh, I bet.
Great ad is the last time I'm sending you to one of my colleagues. That's it.
It's just everything turns into some sort of masturbation double entendre. He's saying, you got to take it easy on that palm. And I say, well, I try, but what can you do? And, is this the good hand? Yeah, it's the good hand. Using it. Are you hard on the hand? Well, I usually start soft, but eventually it gets... everything just turns into a masturbatory choke. So I had to kind of try to keep a straight face. But this guy pushed it and thumped it and, checked all the tenants and everything's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think I need the MRI, personally.
Does he want to operate?
He wants to get the MRI, and then he wants to operate.
Yeah, you're not going to have an operation without the MRI.
Yeah, but what's the MRI cost? Seriously, is it $1,200, Phil?
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's about $1,200.
You want when you go to.
I don't think my whole hand is worth $1,200. I really don't. It's 33 years old. It's got a lot of mileage on it.
When you plan a trip, do you use a map?
Oh, shut up, Drew. Shut Drew's mic off. Would you, engineer Mike? Put down the internet porn, and thank you. Okay. Talk to Phil about this.
Yeah.
I could understand $1,200 for your skull, let's say, but just a hand. I don't even really need to be in the room for the hand. I could just drop the hand. No. I could just put the hand in the thing, and I could read or clean up, or I could earn my keep around there while the hand was being magnetic resonant imaging, the MRI.
Yeah.
How long does it take? Do you know, Phil?
Half hour.
You've had a few on the knee?
I had one. I can't have any more on my knee because I have metal in my knee.
Oh, and it throws it off?
Yeah.
No, throw off it. Rip it out.
All right, hold on. Turn Drew's mic back on. He has some pertinent
It's
information.
a huge magnet. It's a giant magnet.
Oh, to pull it right out of there?
Well, move it around.
All right, but what about an X-ray, Drew? Couldn't they just take an X-ray of the hand?
It doesn't quite do the same thing.
Not the same thing.
It's not nearly the same.
So you're saying it's $1,200 whether it's your head, your chest, your hand, or your big toe?
Most places, I believe it's time in the machine.
Oh, my God.
Man,
no wonder insurance is so out of control. They just bilk the hell out of it.
No, the machine costs millions of dollars.
Yeah, but the point is,
for the machine.
The point is this guy is 99% sure that it's just some cyst.
Yeah,
he knows how I got it.
He needs to see where it goes so we can know what to operate on.
Well, you start at the top of the lump and you work your way down. All right, $1,200. I didn't know. I don't know what my deductible is. This is really between. I just spent $3,800 on my teeth.
What time Wednesday?
I'm really not worth it.
What time Wednesday?
Wednesday early at 9:15.
All right,
you gonna be there?
Yep.
All right, we'll make a date. All right, Drew. What did we take no calls then, or what did we do?
That's already talked about your
great.
hand.
Right, I love that. Phil Buckman is here from American Werewolf in Paris. We'll be back for more hand talk after this.
LoveLine will be right back. Oh, no. LoveLine will be right back. No. LoveLine will be right back. WEBN.
Dukes of Hazzard. Just a good old boy.
Good old boy.
Thank you very much.
Never meaning no harm.
I like when they blew up the outhouse with the exploding arrow. That's back when being in trouble with the law was good. Because the law was the man.
Right, the law was the problem, huh?
Yeah, big fat boss hog. And, Enos and Cooter.
Don't forget Cooter.
No, wait a minute. Cooter was the mechanic.
Yeah.
Cooter, Enos, Roscoe.
Roscoe Pete Coltrane.
That's right. Did you like the Dukes of Hazzard?
I don't think I ever watched an episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. The greatest is when they replaced them with the cousins later on.
I stopped watching that.
They stopped watching that?
I think I went back to the Smurfs.
It was like in Chips when Larry Wilcox, the blonde guy, went off to, well, of course, he went on to parlay that into
a huge career.
Yeah, he's doing dinner theater in Tucson.
He's catering with Rerun.
Right. Him and Fred is catering. But his cousin, or his brother. It's always got to be, I don't know why Hollywood just can't see fit to just think that, one guy dropped off the force, and here's another guy.
Chips lost it for me when they brought in the cousin of the brother that they brought in.
Bruce Penhall.
The motorcycle guy.
Yes, I bet Ann had a crush on him when she was about 15.
Doing a touchdown dance there.
Right, yeah. That's right. He was a young rookie. Always getting into trouble, that Penhall.
Let's take some calls this
you want to take some calls?
Hey, tonight, LoveLine, phone calls, yeah?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Are you done with the Dukes of Hazzard trivia?
I'll go back to reading the Woody Allen book, right?
All right. Junior.
Yes.
You're 18.
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
What's up, man?
Hey.
All right, I'm having some problems because my dad's been out of my life since I was 12 years old. And my mom, since I was 3, and my mom died when I was 12. And I joined a neighborhood when I was 12 years old, a gang in East LA. That's practically all I've been doing for most of my life. I've been on my own, no parents, no relatives, period.
Wow.
Well, where you been? What house you been sleeping in when you?
Well, about 3-4 months ago, I was on the run for a whole year since.
From the law?
Since '96 to '97.
What'd you do? Break in a cooter shop and steal a transmission or something?
Nah, all of my offenses were for deadly weapons.
Oh, okay. That's why I like the Dukes of Hazzard.
And I've been trying to get my life together since September of last year, '97. That's when I turned myself in with my uncle. I found my real family on my mom's side, blood family, and then I saw my dad yesterday. Okay.
For the first time?
Yes, and
since you were how old?
6 years.
How long?
7 to 6 years.
76 years, I think.
7 to 6.
Oh, 7.
And
hold on a second. 6 to 7 years you haven't seen? Oh, okay.
Something like that.
All right.
And
you go backwards, it sounds like a prison sentence.
Why did you leave? Why did your dad leave then?
I don't know why. Back then, I hear rumors about my dad that he's a big drug pusher right now.
I heard. Wait a minute. I thought your dad left when you were 3. Then.
Mom died when he was 3.
Mom died
Oh,
when
he was 12 when
died
Dad
when I was
took
3.
off. All right, I'm sorry.
And my mom, she had her thing. She was bisexual. You know what I mean? All my brothers, we all had different dads.
Wow.
And so what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to, and I go to school again, and I'm going to adult school to get my shit together. Hopefully I get hired on Wednesday at the Italian restaurant I applied for today.
Hey, Junior?
Yeah.
Please try not to use the S word
I'm sorry,
as
sir.
casually as you've been using.
Yeah, but, and...
Pretend like you're applying for a job here at LoveLine.
and like...
This is an amazing story, though. I mean, how amazing it is that you're able to get it together the way you are.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for my Uncle Danny right now. You know what I mean?
And he's the one that you found your way back to.
Yeah.
And then he got you in touch with your dad.
No, he didn't. Like, I did that on my own. By memories. I had these dreams, and I just get these memories. When you want to remember something, it's so vivid that you don't remember it. But when you don't want to remember it, it comes to you like nothing. And I'm driving with my other uncle to go fix his car, and I say make a left and make a right, and all of a sudden I'm at my dad's house, and I don't even know how I got there.
Yeah, well, it's more that your subconscious really will drive. It doesn't lie. It will drive you towards what it wants, regardless of what you think you want.
So going to school, you're boxing with the police?
Yeah, it's the Montebello Police Department.
It seems like bizarre strategy for me. We're going to get these dangerous drug pushers on the street. We're going to teach them how to fight with their fists. Now they kick ass.
Well,
I used to do kickboxing in Canoga Park.
And plus, Junior's sense of rage and aggression is not going to magically vanish.
No,
He needs a way to
it
express
works. They get in the gym. They have that healthy place to put the aggression.
I haven't lost a fight yet, so...
Right.
And it's like...
what weight division you fighting in, Junior?
160.
Oh, so it's almost like super middleweight or something.
Yeah. Well, I weigh 175 now. They want to drop...
Oh, that's light heavy.
I gained some weight because I'm tired of fighting. I want to go up, Ain't no future for featherweights.
Well, there's no future for middleweight. I mean, light heavyweights either, really, unless they make their way up to heavyweight.
Yeah, but I get these mixed feelings because at my house, I'm not to the point with my family now that I could tell them everything, and it's real crazy for me, because to me it's like I'm used, because when I was in the streets, I was out there 24/7 with the neighborhood doing all the gang banging, and everything, and it's like now I'm home, and I got a home and a place to stay, and I got responsibilities, and it's hard, the responsibilities seem easy to do, but it's like well, a friend told me, it's like you get an animal that never been caged for his whole life, and you stick him in his predicament, and he don't know what to do. I got an anger. My uncle hasn't seen it because I'm controlling it in front of him. I smoke weed almost every day. You know what I mean? To me,
all right, well, there's something you can do for yourself. I mean,
and
smoke more weed?
No. Although it's an interesting. At least he's not drinking, because that would be, then you'd see the rage.
All the folks that have that rage, that suppressed rage,
yeah,
I'd love a bong load to keep it in. I don't want them out drinking. I want them out token.
Yeah, I understand.
Because I don't want
You've
them
actually
getting
made
drunk,
me
going
a
nuts.
convert to that. way of
Thank you.
saying it, but ultimately, you'd rather have them be sober if possible. And that's,
You know, and like my dad, he called me yesterday and we talked for 2 minutes. Just to
yeah, but your dad's a drug addict and a pusher, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I'm answering for Junior because we're running too long on this.
I mean,
call.
that's not going to be a healthy place for him to put all these.
Here's the
ambivalent
deal.
feelings.
Junior has this thing we talk about once in a while where, for some reason, some people have the ability to pull themselves up out from the wreckage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
at very young ages.
Yeah.
And you see these people in life, I don't know, like when we had Larry Flint in here. I know it sounds like a bizarre reference, but here's a guy who, I don't know, he grows up in in Kentucky, barefoot, sleeping on logs and kindling, and now he's, runs an empire. For some reason, and it doesn't happen very often, some people have the ability to come from hell and pull themselves out of it without counseling and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Very rare. But Junior seems to have a little bit of that spark.
Right.
I don't think he's going to head up his own publishing empire, but
that's not what you're.
That's not what we care about.
Well, no,
we just don't want him to kill us.
No,
right.
That wouldn't
I know.
necessarily be health for him to run a empire. What would be healthy for him would be to reestablish some stability in his life and have healthy ways of expressing his aggression and developing new relationship with people.
Right.
A genuine relationship, which is really what he's craving and striving for. I mean, he's reconnecting with his family. He's starting to develop friends who are not as dysfunctional as his old friends. I mean, he's underway. He just has to understand that it's scary, and it may be depressing, and it may have a lot of painful feelings associated with it. And rather than acting on those, or at least in the old ways, which are running away or acting out violently, stay with these feelings and continue to focus on developing these healthier ways of containing and dealing with your life. To keep more of it is what you need, not less. He was sort of hinting that he was going to kind of revert or regress in some way, which people do. They go forward and they go back, and it's okay to be that way. But he's got to find more quality relationships, and that's why I was sort of pursuing the possibility of recovery, because if he had recovering peers, he would have another level of connection with people that might help him deal with these very scary feelings he's having.
August,
Yes.
you're 21. What's going on? You're on with Phil Buckman.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
I had a problem. I'm going out with this girl. I've known her for 3.5 years. We've been friends for that long. We're definitely best friends now. She broke up with her boyfriend in probably September, and at about that time, both of us started to notice sort of a tension between each other. And it was about that time that we started to work towards becoming a couple.
Uh-huh.
I'm bisexual. She's bisexual.
Right.
I've been with guys before, and she was with this guy for like 2 years, and it was like a severely dysfunctional relationship where the first year was pretty good, and then the second year was bad.
Yeah, that's every relationship, by the way.
Well, this is my first relationship, so I don't have any experience with that.
This girl is your first relationship?
Yeah.
At 21?
Yeah.
How do you know you're bisexual then?
It's just something that I've known for
How
a
do you
while.
know you're not lesbian?
No, I like guys.
But you've never had a relationship with one?
No.
Why is that?
Just never found the right person.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
I was 18. It wasn't due to lack of opportunity. It was just... I'd fooled around with guys before. I almost lost my virginity when I was 15. But
Yeah.
I just never...
Me too, but I thought it'd be prudent to wait a couple of years. I
Well,
really did.
I can't say that I've made very smart sexual choices, but...
Why?
Well, this guy, when I was 15, I almost lost my virginity in my
He was 30?
I'm sorry?
He was 30?
No, he was a high school senior. He,
That's my point.
well, he and I almost had sex in the dark room at my school. And I just fooled around a lot.
Why?
So,
Why do you think that was? Yeah.
Because I've had the desire to be sexual, but never had been in a relationship with anyone.
All right, Drew, stop going down this dark alley with the big roadblock at the end. You're wasting time on my show. So, August.
Yes. Okay.
So what is your question?
My question is, she has this emotional pain from her last relationship. It's only been, a few months since she broke up with this guy, and she is far from being over him. I am really in love with her. I have fallen hard for her. She knows this.
Are you having? So you're having a physical relationship with her now?
Yeah, I mean, we've been going out for over a month.
Here's my suspicion. My suspicion is, August, that you're really more lesbian than you are bisexual. Okay, and that's a hard thing to deal with, and that people your age typically have trouble sort of admitting that to themselves. But
No, actually, I kind of agree with that.
All right, so you're more lesbian. She is more chaotic, more ambivalent, more disturbed, frankly.
She may be more screwed up than either lesbian or bisexual.
That's right, and that's why her relationships are dysfunctional. That's why somebody who comes at her with stability and genuine connectedness, she can't quite get it together for that, because it's not dysfunctional enough. She needs that in relationships. She needs the drama.
Yeah.
And so you pick somebody who is not likely to be a great candidate for your first I suspect. Right? Am I right?
Well, it kind of sucks because she's passive, and I'm a pretty straightforward, sort of aggressive person. I know what I want. I can go and get it. She was, in like the second year of her last relationship, the only reason basically she broke up with him was because he wore her down. She didn't have the energy anymore to put up with him, and that was it. And she wanted to break up with, she couldn't take anymore. And she loves me. We've known each other for 3.5 years. We're best friends.
Yeah, but this is, again, it's more about this person being a receptacle for other people. Her significant other here is not a real presence in these relationships. It's sort of.
Let me give my relationship take, especially for people in their early 20s. However their last relationship went, that's pretty much how yours is going to go. If they're in a very chaotic, here's your choices, I should say. Okay. I would say that if the person comes from a very chaotic relationship and then enters a relationship with you, yours is going to be chaotic. And then people say, well, wait a minute, Adam. Maybe it wasn't that person that was the trouble in the relationship. Maybe this girl was dating some alcoholic, abusive a-hole. What's that do to your theory? What that does to my theory means is she chose out the alcoholic, abusive a-hole who brought chaos to the relationship, and she will soon tire of you in your normality in relationships.
Or bring out the alcoholic, abusive a-hole in you.
Or force you to start drinking and beating.
That you didn't even know you were.
Right, like every woman has done to me.
Yes.
Right. The heroin-abusing, misogynist, pornography-loving,
that no one imagined is hiding within that
lurking
soft soul.
in the marrow of my bones. These women have found a way to draw it out of me. Oh, they're so evil, aren't they, Phil?
Absolutely.
Your girlfriend's in the next room. Is she the one right behind you?
Yeah.
No, boy. Yeah. You actors got it made. I got to get some kind of acting gig, Drew. All right.
Don't date other actors.
They've been giant success.
Hey, Greg Araki called.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's putting me in his next movie. Oh. See, finally it's paid off.
All this begging, you mean?
Yeah, every time we get one of these film guys in here, I go, hey, come on, put me in your movie. Come on. And this guy finally did.
Greg will remember you.
Yeah, he's. I
met him for Nowhere.
Oh, right.
And then I didn't get it. I went to the premiere party for Nowhere, and we walked right past each other, looked me right in the eye, and just kept on walking.
Oh.
I was like,
well, hey, God love Greg. Him and Kathleen Robertson were on here. I don't know, they did like the TV show like 8 months ago, or they were on here like 9 months ago.
Yeah.
And I just got a call today.
Yeah.
I don't remember begging him to put me in his next film, but it seems like something I would do.
Yeah, you didn't.
Well, every time someone's a filmmaker,
no, you tend to focus on the TV people.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had the guy who wrote Chasing Amy, and then there's, what's his name? The guy who puts you into epileptic seizures. What the hell's his name? John Favreau, and then Smith.
You begged
Kevin
him too.
Smith. Yeah, those guys.
But I think finally you're going to be on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That's where it's going to actually pay off.
Yeah. You know, it was funny.
Go out with the cat, huh?
Halfway into begging to be on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I started really rethinking. I said, wait a minute. Finally, and I might have found a show that's actually beneath me, everyone.
Carolyn Rayway, no problem.
I want to be on the Dukes of Hazzard reunion show.
They already had it.
I want to be on the Dukes of Hazzard reunion revisited, or the Awakening.
Meet the Globetrotters.
Meets the Globetrotters who play the robots on Gilligan's Island. Don.
Hi.
Don, you're 13.
Yeah, okay, I've been masturbating since I was 11, and I just was, okay, sorry, I'm really nervous about being...
Hang on, don't worry about it.
I'm amazed that I finally got through. Okay, I've been masturbating since I was about, 11 and a half, and I guess I'm just kind of a horny chick, but...
No, wait a minute. There's nothing terrifically abnormal about that.
Okay.
I mean, that would be normal. Right? That would be
11
normal.
and a half?
A lot of women don't learn that at that age, but they eventually do.
Okay.
Did you have an orgasm when you were 11?
I don't really, remember that well.
What the hell kind of job do I have? I'm talking to a 13-year-old about orgasming when she was 11. Oh, for Christ's sake. I really got to break out of this and get into some sort of legitimate form of theater.
Thank you for making Don feel that much more comfortable.
I'm sorry, Don. No offense, but I'm 33.
Don, so what's the question?
Okay. I have had, conversations with people about masturbation, and...
Good.
My best friend, none of my girlfriends have ever, admitted, not girlfriend.
It's not typical of a young woman to
but we've had conversations about it. It's just that, I've never felt comfortable whatsoever about admitting it.
Well, so they don't, you think they're not admitting it either?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because...
Why don't you feel comfortable admitting it?
Well, please, you know how...
Well, just because, I don't know. I just guess I just don't feel comfortable with it. I really don't know why.
And by the way, when we were by the way, when we were 13, no one talked about it, male or female.
Yeah, well,
right?
I guess.
Adam.
Probably.
Yeah, well, there was all that. No, you would use it as a slight. Yeah, go home, and they would call it. What the hell? What the hell was it? Fag off with yourself. It was a little wordy, but it was effective. It was like you're actually having a homosexual relationship with your own genitalia.
Never got that, and you're only a couple years older than me.
Yeah, I got that. I went to Walter Reed Junior High. You came out here, you went right to Taft.
But the point is that
we thought we came on something.
That is something that
males
or females have difficulty talking about it. You're just 13. Your friends are not all into this yet, and of course just beginning to understand what it is to talk about this with your peers.
All right, let me summarize in a non-boring way, Drew. What you're doing is perfectly fine. Unfortunately, being a female and being 13, it is not something you want to spread around, because people at that age can be amazingly cruel, and they can get hold of little tidbits of personal information and use that against you. I hate to say it, but it's true. Women should not be admitting they're masturbating before they're 22.
Why? And they should talk about it highly.
Right. Then they should write books on it. But because guys pick this up and run with it. They go nuts with this kind of stuff. Can you imagine when you were in high school if there was some good-looking 16-year-old cheerleader who was admitting that she was masturbating to you? I mean,
so
you just start masturbating
that
right
just means
there.
that I'd have even less of a chance with her.
Right. She said
male aggression and intrusiveness that prevent women from being honest about themselves, even with their own peers, with their own sex.
Yeah, because their own sex may then go ahead and be cross over and tell some guys.
Oh God.
It is true. This is why women instinctively don't want to tell guys they masturbate, because the guy's like, "Come on, I know you do it." just a little something to add to the masturbatory arsenal for them. Which I don't think I always say it's funny. It's very ironic that the guys then masturbate to them masturbating, which seems to be a little bit counterproductive. But I guess it works for most guys. And this is Dawn is 13 years old. Can you imagine her dating a 13-year-old guy? I mean, see how mature she sounded?
Right.
She sounded like Murphy Brown or something.
Right, and guys...
13-year-old guy's like, yeah, I've been diddling my nutsack. Yeah. Oh, sport. You don't want Dawn to date a 19-year-old, but she's really more mature than most of the 19-year-olds we speak to. All right, Don, keep going. You're fine. And don't tell anybody. But they're doing it too, but don't tell them. Right? All right, we're good.
No.
Yeah, Drew's lost interest in the show.
No,
Phil, you're on board, right?
I just disagree.
What, you do not.
I think that women should not be afraid to talk about what it is they are, and they should. If they continue to hide it as a group.
Okay. What if you were a Jew in Poland in 1942? Do you think it'd be all right to go around and talk about your religious beliefs?
I think.
Aha! Thank you.
It's not that bad.
I think at her age she would probably be ostracized from her friends if she talked about it.
We are really, we are supporting a status quo here that is really not right.
But she's not the Harriet Tubman of masturbation, Drew. Let's not get her screwed. Please. She's like the Rosa Parks of diddling herself. Believe me, she's gonna. Why make her the martyr? The point is she will tell one of her friends. Women are very catty. They will date somebody. She will end up dating that guy, and then the rumor mill will fire up. All right. Now that I've prevailed, we're ready to move on to commercial break.
WEBN.
Hi, this is John Favreau, and you're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hey, it's LoveLine. Phil Buckman is here from American Werewolf in Paris, and that was Dr. Drew's arch nemesis, John Favreau, which for some reason the guy drives Drew insane. I don't know why. I didn't have a problem with the guy. I thought it was delightful. Of course, I'm saying that because I'd like him to put me in one of his movies. Drew is back. Drew was on the phone. Everything all right there, Drew?
Yeah. It's just hellacious.
Huh?
You can't get a hospital bed in this town.
Really?
I've been trying to get 2 patients in the hospital since Saturday.
What's a hospital bed run? So like a couple grand a night?
But the fact is, there's
I'll put
such
someone
an
up my
epidemic
goddamn living room for
going
$800
on here that you can't get in. Yeah, I'm sure it's depending on what kind of monitoring, between $500 and $800 a night. I'm sure.
Holy mackerel!
Yeah.
Take a cruise for that. All right, Phil is here, and so is Drew, and ready to go back to the phones. Andrew.
Yeah.
You're 20.
Hey, guys. I've been listening to you guys since Rackman. I'm going to go to college, and I'm a mass communications major right now with a minor in psychology. I want to do what you guys do right now.
Yeah.
But my thing is right now...
Talk to 13-year-old girls about masturbating.
Yeah. Hey, why not?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a girl right now, and apparently she's been just... Oops, sorry.
Oh, boy. People like that word tonight.
Yeah. She's been dumped upon a lot. And she's been around the block a lot, and nobody's just never given her a chance, really. Her first experience with sex was at 16 with a 21-year-old who forced himself upon her, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, she's been seeking out relationships where the guys are more not very caring, and they just don't give her the love that she needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm kind of
or can't handle.
Well, it's all going to change when Andrew steps in.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I have the Samaritan complex where I tend to pick up girls who have been dumped upon a lot, and I try to bring their esteem back.
And
Andrew's what's called a dumb Samaritan.
Yeah, that's me.
Right.
Nothing but success in all your relationships.
Yeah, well, I take them back, and then they get the esteem, and then they leave.
Well, they don't get the esteem, and they leave because they can't tolerate stability in relationships. They can't tolerate. It becomes too overwhelming to them.
The voice of experience, Andrew. You can't change people.
No.
Well,
trust me, I've been there.
She's been around a lot, and sex has lost all meaning for her. It's just an animalistic thing. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
It's a tool.
Yeah. Well, that's not cool for me because sex to me is sacred, and it has a lot of feeling. And I want to try to regain her feeling for sex again, somehow.
Right.
And I want to know about...
You gotta get a vibrator.
What?
No.
No, I want to make it sacred for her.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you're a certified therapist and you got 5 years to put aside, I think there shouldn't be a problem here. Am I right, Drew?
Exactly. You can't.
That's it.
You can't be in a relationship with somebody and be their fixer, therapist, that sort of thing. The job of the fixer is not being in intimate contact with the person, is having boundaries.
If you're working on a car, you can't be humping the car at the same time. Am I right, Drew?
But I have a really good relationship.
Right. Your mechanic doesn't also drive the car.
We could.
But, no, I really do like her a lot. And
wait a minute, Drew. Isn't this what you're talking about?
Yeah, but your analogies suck.
Hey, shut Drew's mic off, will you? We'll see how much they suck in 10 minutes. All right, go ahead, Andrew.
Okay, but the thing is, I really do care about her a lot, and I do want a relationship with her. That's the thing.
Okay.
Andrew, the thing is, you cannot change somebody. All right, the best thing for you to do, my opinion, would be to get out and stay friends with her and try to help her out from a friend's point of view, because all that's going to end up happening is you're going to end up getting hurt and you're going to destroy a friendship.
Okay. Because, like, she always talks about, she's like, you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. She's like, why couldn't I have found you before all this happened to me?
I don't deserve you.
Right. She'll have that conversation again, Andrew, believe me.
All right.
All right, Andrew, I'm just saying, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Your motives are not as pure as they seem as well. Look at Drew. He's nodding over there. Am I right, Drew? Just nod your head. Yes. Okay. You can see he's nodding, Phil?
Yeah, he's nodding.
In a weird way, even though your motives sound so altruistic. Is that the right word there, Drew?
Drew says that's fine.
You're there using her to fulfill something in you, too. Which may be a thing that sounds positive, but it's not healthy either. What's that?
I've done that with other girls before, and I don't get the feeling that I get, like, being with her, though. Like, I actually do find this is, like, a very, very satisfying relationship.
All right, here's the deal. Go ahead and have a relationship. Keep one eye open.
Okay.
And try not to do so much fixing.
All right.
Just lead by example. Have a good relationship. But when she starts starting in with her stuff, realize that's just what she's doing.
And sometimes people get very resentful and angry.
Hold on, what are you saying, Drew? Drew says people get resentful and angry. Yeah, when they are attempted to be fixed. Right. Yeah, God knows.
He's just got to make sure that he's got to sit back and think and make sure that his feelings are not that he feels like he can change somebody.
Phil, what's your girlfriend do? I'm looking at her over
She's
there.
a singer.
Oh, she is?
She's a singer.
Wow. What kind of stuff she sing?
She sings R&B, hip-hop, acid jazz.
Acid jazz?
Yes.
I don't know that one.
She's, kind of, I don't know. It's not,
yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. She also does a lot of session work.
Oh, really? Why don't you come in here and just sing a little something? I mean, not a whole song or anything. Just,
come in,
just come in and scat a little. I'm looking at her through the glass. I have not met her. What's her name?
Her name is Shauna.
Shauna. Yeah. Well, Shauna, come in here.
She actually, if you've seen the Jack in the Box commercial, she's going to hit me when she comes in because I'm saying this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking at me like, why are you saying this? The Jack in the Box commercial with the takeoff on the Spice Girls. She's the voice of one of the she's the voice of one of the Spice Girls in that.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I have heard it, where he's looking at it in the office, and it's like an ad exec or something, and I haven't seen the... Shauna, come on in. Hey, what's going on there, Shauna?
Not a hell of a lot. I thought this was Phil's shining moment.
Well, it is. We're tired of Phil, quite frankly.
Yeah, I'm bored.
No, we just want you to... you want to tune up or something? We'd like to hear you sing just a little bit. Certainly you could do that.
Sure.
You could do that?
I can do that.
Do you have a number that you like?
I get paid generally to do that, but you know.
All right. Well, there's a quarter right there on the desk. Now, do you have? Is there something you like? Something you know about?
Yeah, I'll just sing a few notes. You can just get a vibe.
All right. You want to do that? Or do you want to warm up or something? We'll do it after the commercial, or do you want to do it right now?
That sounds good.
Yeah, drink a glass of water and stretch out your nodes or something.
Nodes.
Your nodes.
Chords.
Your chords.
I don't know.
And then we'll come back and you give us a little standard, like a little jazz standard.
Sure.
Okay. All right, that's perfect. All right, we'll squeeze in one more call before we head to break. Well, why don't we take this question for Phil here? Travis.
Yeah.
You're 18.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you have a question for Phil?
Yeah, actually I do.
What's up?
All right. You know, I'm into writing movies. One day I really hope to write and direct my own movies. Wondering if you got any advice on how to break into the industry.
That's I want to do that too, and I'm trying to figure out how to get into writing and directing. How to break into the industry. Well, where are you calling from?
Sacramento, California.
Sacramento.
Well, it's a hotbed of what's going on over there? No, nothing.
You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't matter.
Mike's working again.
It doesn't matter where you're from. Do you write now?
Yeah.
Have you written? What kind of stuff you want to do? Film?
Yeah, I do.
The only thing I can.
I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino, David Lynch, stuff like that.
You know, I honestly don't know what to do. You know, write scripts. Get feedback on them from your friends, from
those stoners. Forget them,
Exactly.
Travis. No, let me jump in for a
Go
second
ahead, please.
here.
You know more than I would.
No, this happens all the time. Bands come in, people call in and say, I'm starting a band. What do you know? Actors come in, I want to act. Who can I talk to? And each time they get the same answer, which is the poor band member or celebrity or producer, whoever we have in here going, bah. Because for every actor, they have their own road, their own story. But it's the only through line in everyone's success story is that they did it, and they did it often, and they kept doing it. And there's no person that they can hook you up with, and there's no modeling agency or anything. It's just, if you want to act, then start acting and stop thinking of ways to get on TV. Just start doing plays. And if you want to write, start writing.
Is it interesting people are interesting people? And the broader your life experience, the more education, the more likely you are to succeed in whatever route you decide to take. That yes, you have to do the basic training, whatever the fundamentals are of what you're trying to do. But beyond that, you're not going to be very interesting if you don't have a huge breadth of something special to bring.
Yeah, you got to be like Hemingway. Go run with the bulls, get loaded, and smack your girlfriend.
And people aren't going to be beating down your door. You have to make yourself available. You have to make yourself known. You have to put yourself out there.
But the thing that everyone has to understand before they get to the point where they're thinking about selling a script is you just got to write.
And write. What's his name? The horror writer.
Clive Barker.
Clive Barker. And he writes 6 hours a day or something, 8 hours a day?
Right.
Every day. 7 days a week.
Yeah.
If I had the time to do that, I would. I'm a senior in high school. I haven't graduated yet. So.
Well, but he's on in his career, and that's what he does. He
right. You don't have to write 6 hours a day, but don't let a day go by without doing a little something. 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And you just keep going. I know it's the world's boringest answer, and it's not the one anyone wants to hear, because we're in this life where we want instant gratification and
immediate success.
It's great because somebody's got to know. It's great when you know somebody and they can get you in, but it's not that way with anybody except for maybe Tori Spelling.
I'm 20 years old. I got my first lead in a film. I've been doing this since I'm 15, so it's not an overnight thing for most people.
For anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's face it.
Okay. All right. And what the hell, Drew? Oh, yes. When we come back, Phil's beautiful girlfriend, Shauna, will come in here and make like Ella Fitzgerald.
LoveLine. Be right back. Austin. WEBN.
Not hard to swallow. We've got a frog in our throat.
Lick it up.
It's LoveLine.
WEBN.
Hi, this is Barry White. You're listening to LoveLine.
Yes, you is. Madam Kroll, that'd be Dr. Drew. Phil Buckman is here, star of American Werewolf. Oh, screwed that word up.
A hard word to say.
American Werewolf in Paris, and his girlfriend, Shauna, has joined us. She didn't plan on coming on the air tonight, but I just saw her through the glass there and was struck by her beauty and asked what she did, and it turned out she's a singer. And fairly accomplished because she sung on a Jack in the Box commercial. So, no, I'm sure. Do you have Shauna? Do you have a record? Do you have a record or anything coming out?
I'm in the process of recording.
You do like session work, and you perform around town.
I have. I'm not at the moment. I'm just recording.
Uh-huh. When can we look forward to this coming out?
As soon as someone signs me, I'm there.
And is this, is it going to be like, what kind of stuff? What kind of music?
It's kind of R&B, acid jazz.
Well, what is acid jazz?
Yeah. I know. I guess it incorporates kind of hip-hop beats and grooves with more jazz and R&B harmonies.
Are you trained?
Just by experience. I've just done a lot of session work since I was a kid. It runs in my family. My whole family are musicians. So.
Oh, really? Well, now have you thought about a song? Obviously, it's unfair. We pulled it right off the bench.
It's very unfair.
And we don't have any kind of Sir Spins a Lot or anything mixing up the acid jazz in the background or anything. But is there a song and something simple, perhaps a standard, something that you sung with the family or something that you could delight us with?
Watch me.
I'm not watching.
You don't have to do the whole song. Just give us a little snippet. You do it sitting down, by the way?
Yeah.
So I can't even see you right now. You're sitting under the console.
It's better that way.
You're not pleasuring Phil right now. No, I can see it.
That's a great show.
All right. So would you like to give us a little ditty?
Sure.
Okay.
It's a little standard.
Okay.
Them there's none shall have, them there's none shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Mama may have, whoa, and Papa may have, but God bless a child that's got his own. Oh, yeah, that's got his own.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, is my mic on? Wow. You should see the look on Lisa, Sherry, and Ann. They're all looking like they want to come in here and kill her. They had that, man, I wish I could sing look. Wow. Hey, that's a talent.
That's not true. We were applauding in here.
I know, just to be nice afterward. But I saw you all had that look of, man, this chick can sing. Ann, can you sing? No. No. Sherry, Lisa, no. Wow. That's pretty good.
Now?
Yeah. Yeah, we do appreciate that. That was wonderful. Well, I see why. Phil, did you meet her at some gig or something?
No, I met her walking her dog. I was walking mine. We live on the same street.
Oh.
We're neighbors.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see, I couldn't do that. You know, that whole pickup thing? Did she recognize you from a movie or something?
No. We just kind of saw each other, and we both actually had the same exact feeling. Hey, who's that cute neighbor?
Wow. See, the dog thing is such a great in, too. Well, I bet you used the dog.
I say that she got the dog just to get me because she gave the dog away after
your first day.
Well, I mean, she actually did the dog a service because she works a lot, and so she's never home for the dog. So she gave it to a friend of hers who can care for it better.
But am I correct to say that the dog was sort of the initial in?
It works. All my friends that know the story want to borrow my dogs.
It's really it's great because the toughest part of beginning the relationship is that first excuse for the conversation. Yeah. And when two people are just sort of standing out there or jogging or doing that power walk with the earphones on or something, there's no way you're breaking through that.
Right.
But with the dog thing, the first conversation is like with the dog.
Yeah.
And the dog can't say, hey, you're lame. So you go over there, what kind of dog? That's great. How long you had it?
Well,
where do you live?
We used to just say hi. My neighborhood, there's a lot of dogs in the neighborhood, so everybody says hi to everybody. Everybody knows.
Right.
I knew her as the Beagle's mom. Rudy the Beagle's mom at first before I knew who she was. And one day I was sitting outside on.
We never give this advice. This is some astute advice here.
Get a dog and go hit the street where everyone walks their dogs, or go to one of those dog parks or something.
Well, I was sitting outside on my front steps and her dog ran up into my apartment.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like 101 Dalmatians.
That was great. That was my favorite dog for the day.
Wow, and then so she had to come in after,
of course.
and then
I had to follow her up.
You got out the roofies, and the rest was history.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's genius. I think I get one of those dogs. Lisa.
Liza.
All right.
With the Z?
Yeah. She come in here and sing that one too, Shauna. All right. So is it which one is it now?
It's Liza.
Okay,
Liza.
you're 23.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Liza.
What's up, Liza?
Okay, I was wondering, I'm in this relationship, and We've been together a couple of years, and he doesn't have any testicles, and I was just wondering.
What happened to him?
That could be a woman.
He really doesn't like to talk about it, but what I got out of him was when he was about 11 or 12.
Hold on a second. I have to clutch mine while he says this, because if it was, there's two ways you approach this. It was, when he was an infant at birth and the doctors were confused. That I can handle. But when you get into that, he was going over the fence of a junkyard when he was 13.
Riding mower.
Yeah, he was, right.
Well, he just said it was a bike accident and that a spoke had, I guess,
no, hold on.
both or something.
Oh, boy.
But that's all he really told me.
Did he completely lost both of them as a result?
All that's there is like the outer skin.
And part of a handlebar grip.
Does he take testosterone now?
No.
Doesn't take testosterone.
It's there's nothing there, but it's like just really soft skin, and it's way up. There's nothing hanging there or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have normal sexual characteristics, hair growth, and body size, and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
And he does, well, if he's producing testosterone, he has testes. So he has enough to produce testosterone. He has enough to produce sperm, I suspect.
Is he producing the sperm?
Yeah, he's producing the sperm.
It's possible they
not semen, but sperm. You can produce semen. The fluid, the white stuff, is just from the prostate and the seminal vesicles and so whatnot.
Okay, well, his is kind of like it looks mucusy. I don't know.
I understand, but we're all. You need some
mucusy.
What is your question?
I just want to know if I could still get pregnant from that.
Well, you need some more clarification from him about what exactly is going on there. I can't understand how he could develop normal secondary sexual characteristics without supplemental testosterone.
Considering this happened before puberty.
Right.
I don't know. That's all.
So he's either taking hormones or he's producing hormones.
Or he's not telling me the whole story.
Well, if he's producing hormones, he can produce sperm, probably. So,
everything else seems normal.
Yeah. So you need to get some more information from him.
And I don't know if it's...
I would go on the assumption that you could get pregnant until you know otherwise. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right. Oh, boy. The upshot of this is I think your penis would look bigger. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's like how your house would look bigger if they didn't build like a 3-story condo next to it. You know what I mean? My penis is dwarfed by my testicles. But it looks good as far as the overall package goes, through the cycling shorts.
Taking your word for it.
I don't have a dog. That's all I got. I just get myself a pair of skin-tight cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts want me to feel your lump? I don't know.
Pack the scrotum in there and head out onto the street. All right. Let's talk to Matt. Matt has been on hold for 122 minutes.
Is that a record?
It's close.
Okay.
All right, Matt, what's happening? You're 27.
That's right. Fellas, I just wanted to say you do a great show, first of all, and I think you've helped a lot of people, made a difference.
Thank you.
I can vouch for that anyway. Not you, Adam, just Drew. No.
Oh, okay. Great.
Adam, actually, I think you help more than you'd like to admit. But anyway, also, Ann, you're awesome, and I don't think you get praised nearly enough.
No, and that's enough of that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. How old's Ann, by the way?
Hey, Matt.
Okay, never.
Let me tell you
22.
something. You've been on hold for longer than Ann has been on this earth, and we got about a minute and a half worth of show left.
Okay, here we go. I come from a long line of dysfunctional families, and despite that, there's a lot of success in the male. Most of the men have done very well, except for in their marriages. My dad just got a divorce after 29 years of marriage. His father divorced when he was 4. His grandfather lost his first wife. So anyway, I want to break this chain. And the way the dysfunctions manifested itself in me is I'm a codependent type person. My dad was an abusive type person, so I think I take the caretaker role.
Right. Makes
That's
sense.
what I learned from listening to your show.
That makes perfect sense.
Wow, I didn't even know that, and I host the show.
So anyway, I've learned a lot from your show, and I've become very introspective, and I'm trying to break this chain, and that's kind of my goal as a individual now. And I'm wondering, what can I do? Are there books I can read? I'm trying to avoid women who are emotionally needy.
Yeah.
Hold on, I can hear the blood flowing to Drew's penis as we speak.
It's going to my brain.
Whenever someone asks, is there a book I can read, Drew gets wood. Go, Drew.
A couple of books. There's a book called Codependent No More.
Okay.
Another book by a guy named James Masterson called The Search for the Real Self.
Okay.
I would, if you're real motivated, I'd recommend that latter book.
Search for Real Self.
Yeah, For the Real Self, James Masterson.
By whom?
James Masterson.
Okay. Good.
And listen,
and then Codependent No More is a pretty decent.
I still attract women who are really needy. Because I just look like the nice guy who can help them out.
Well, understand that you need to develop a more genuine sense of yourself. That how you behaved in your family is sort of a primitive response to the situation, and it may not be a genuine expression of who you are as a complete person.
But here's the deal: he's 27, not old. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He's willing to do some work on himself. You read a few books.
And I'll tell you what, he's willing to commit himself. He's clear that terminating marriages, for instance, is not something that's for him.
Right.
So that's something that people can do. They can choose to stay committed.
He will not be damned to this life simply because he's aware of it and willing to work on it. All right, you're fine, Matt, and we're going to break.
LoveLine will be right back. Why? Because we like you. WEBN.
Suck on this. LoveLine.
All of my most sensitive areas were inflamed.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
WEBN.
Phil Buckman is here and was here.
Thank you. Good night.
American Werewolf in Paris. It is out. Go out and see it. And don't wait for it to go to video. And go see it in the theater because it's chock full of good sound effects, good
This has been LoveLine. The opinions expressed herein are not necessarily limo service for LoveLine guests provided by Fox Limousine. And it certainly wasn't for me, LoveLine producer Ann Wilkins.
This broadcast was copyright 1997 Westwood One Entertainment. This music is MXPX on Tooth and Nail Records.
Sit, Obo. Obo, stop dragging your butt across the carpet.